And now we can do more in details. We have 4 buttons here. We can shape this, yeah, and change. The orange part means the minimum thickness is reached. So I just smooth it a bit out. And so, and I adapt this proximal contact, so we cut off. Next. So now we come to the part where we reduce this crown because we want to do a coping, a reduced coping. So now we can tell the software how much we want to reduce from our anatomic design. I don't play much around with these anatomic design before because we anyway going to put veneering material on there. So we don't have to really go into so much detail. But 1 millimeter to reduce is very good. We can check how this looks. And you see it will now, yeah, reduce our anatomic form accordingly. If you say, no, it's not, this is too much, we only want a 0.5 millimeter, we can do this too, and it will reduce only a 0.5 millimeter. I do this a lot, for example, for zirconia crowns in the anterior part, because then I can have a zirconia core, and I just put some aluminum and transfer on top. So we have a nicer look of the crown. And if you, as you all know, when you have too much porcelain ceramic on a coping, the fraction of it, the chipping is higher of risk. We also have the option, for example, to say, no, we don't to reduce all around. We want to skip a part. We can, for example, do a lingual bend here, and then it will reduce everything except the blue part, as you can see here. And this doesn't matter now if you do it in wax, if you do it in resin, if you do it in zirconia or metal, it will come out like this. The difference between the different materials is in the settings after on how it fits on the tooth. You maybe have to play around according to your milling machine, and maybe the minimum thickness for metal can be 0.4. And for zirconia, for example, it's 0.6 millimeters. And for EMIX, it's 0.8 or 1 millimeter. Yeah. Also, we can say we want to clear this again and say, no, we want to maybe have all this here left and can apply. See, and then we have this left in metal or zirconia, and we just veneer this part. Let's leave it like this. We have again now the chance to modify this design. We can add something here if you don't need to. And we go next. And actually now this is finished. You see, this is no witchcraft, it goes quick. This is your crown, what we can send to a mill, to a printer, whatever you want to do. Okay. So let's close this quick and we go to the This you blocked out automatically. Yeah. If you don't like this access of the insert access, you can change this, of course, like this. Yeah. It's fine. We go on next. Again, we check our cement gap. We can play around if we need to. If not, we leave the settings how they are. And it will generate us again a design what Exocad things could fit there. So in this case, we have a full anatomic crown, what we want to do, let's say like what we showed in the picture. These spots was this orange, like a rainbow, blue, green, and so on. It marks that there is an occlusal interference. And blue is not much interference, and red, of course, is a lot. You can see it also with the antagonist. You see, there it comes. Your crown will interfere there. So we have definitely a high point there. So what we do the same, we now turn this in the place we want to have it. We click next. And now we can shape this a little bit. See, we can move these around. Adapt to the occlusal part, we adapt to the approximal part. Then we can go in our freeform tool and just smooth everything out. What we don't need, we can add something. So if you say now this, I want to change something here, I can add. See, I can say no, I want this maybe here. Yeah, I can change if I want to. Yeah. Or if I want to make here the fissure a bit deeper, I can do this. I can play around if I need to. The good thing on the digital way is that now, even if I reduce here now something, yeah, we see the orange part comes through. It means that my minimum thickness, what I have in the parameter, will interfere now. It will be too thin. The software automatically will put the minimum thickness back. In this way, your crown can never be too thin. Yeah. And also, if you, like we did before in the reduced way, you will have enough space for your ceramic if there is, but your crown will never be too thin. If you want to have 0.4 millimeters, it will be 0.4 millimeters, no matter what. Yeah, I will just put this back. We go next. And then you have your crown. If you want to make this nicer, I just went now quickly through this. Of course, we can do this nicer a bit here and there. We can show this. Let me check the photo again. What I had before. Wait. and share it to you.
Sorry, Phillips, show the antagonist.
So this was the posterior crown, what we just saw now, and this is a photo of the finished crown. We did this last week. This is just glazed and stained. This way, you can have a nice way of a crown with not much labor work. Okay. Excuse me, what you wanted to tell me?
Yes, somebody wants to see the occlusion. So I said maybe you show the antagonist so that they can see how you related the occlusion.
Okay, great. Yeah. So if I want to change this, for example, if this is maybe too high, I can change this. You see. Yeah. You also can. Okay.
We're no longer seeing your screen.
I'll just close this now. Wait. You wanted to see this one? You mean this one?
Yes, yeah, exactly. Somebody questioned from Ijeoma was saying, how do you determine the occlusion with the opposing side? So I think this should answer the question.
So these models are scanned. So now they are also in scanned in position to each other. So as you can see, what I always do with crowns, I always put them in the articulator first before I scan. I know some others just put them together. I always check first how the occlusion is, if everything is correct. So in this way, you can also see the antagonist. You can make it invisible. You can make it visible. You can make it transparent if you want to. Any object here we can fade out or blend in. I can put out my crown, see how much space I have here. Even if something is not correct, I can make a screenshot and send it via WhatsApp to my client and say, hey, there's a high point, or we don't have enough clearance. What should I do? With analog way, you would have to make a photo. You can do this, of course, with your phone, but here you can have actually proof and tell him we don't have enough space. Okay, I just had this last week with an Emacs crown, and we just made a screenshot and sent it to the client and told him what should we do? Should we cut the antagonist, or should we reduce something from the die? Because this whole situation can also be shared via an Exocad web view, so you can send the client or the patient this design and for approval. Okay. Anything else you want to know?
Yes.
So far, okay?
Fine.
Okay, then I will close this and we go quick to the flexible case. I just need to share quick the other screen again. And put design. Okay. And where is it? So you can see it now.
Yes, I hope everyone can see it. I can see it.
You can see the Exocad screen and also the design screen.
The Exocad screen, antagonist partial tension.
So now, for example, this is a digital case what I made. I had a friend of mine, and he got tooth extracted, and he didn't want to run around without a temporary solution, yeah, without anything, yeah, with no tooth. He looks like this. Yeah. Yeah. So this actually now is an intraoral scan what I got. Let me see if I find quick the file, then I can show it to you. Just a second. No, I don't see it now. Doesn't matter, but you can see now we have no physical model what we scanned. I created this from, maybe let me share the other screen. Just wait. Let me open this again. Just a moment, please.
Phillips, I think.
So just I have it.
I want to suggest that you round up so that we can wait for another day, Friday, to do another one.
Okay, I just wanted to show you this quick. So
show you to round up. Just show that. Then we'll take some questions from the participants.
Yeah, of course. Just give me a moment, please. Don't save, just a minute. Now it comes up. I told you I will show you the overdenture way, what we did. And just share this. Maybe you can see it better. You can see it now? You can see this? Two models? Yes or no? You can see my screen?
I can see your screen. I hope others can see it too.
So you see, this is an intraoral scan what we had. And we did first the design of the tooth. And after we designed this gingua around, what I showed you before. And after we did the models. And next time I can show you a photo of it, how it looks. In this way, we can just print. Maybe print this, and we don't have a physical model in that way. We don't need this anymore. I will show you again the old case just a moment. So maybe you will ask now, but how do you do the denture?
Okay, should I ask some of the questions now?
Yeah, please. So okay. Just 1 second. If you ask me now, how do we do the dentures? Is that I personally design it, and like you see it here, I design this, and then I have a pink part and a tooth part, and I mill two parts, one pink resin and one tooth resin, and after it will be joined together as with a PMMA or any kind of bonder you want to use. You see, this was a denture what we did for him. And I just did this in a half day, so he could go for the dinner. He had an important dinner in the evening, and good to go. It goes quick, nicely, and the milling takes around 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and then you just put everything together. Okay, let's have some questions then.
Fantastic. The screen, your screen, what I'm seeing now is flexible denture, I suppose.
Yes.
Which means with digital technology, we can also do flexible dentures.
Yes, you can do. Actually, nowadays you can do almost anything what you do analog, you can do digital. Maybe orthodontics not, yeah, but if you talk about the crowns and bridges, definitely yes. Partial dentures in a chrome, yes. Partial dentures flexible, yes, we can do this. Full dentures, yes. Splints, of course. Inlays, onlays, yes. Telescopic crowns, attachments, all of this can be done digitally. You can import X-rays or CT scans to make an implant planning. So we can print surgery guide after, and all these things can be done digital. And the good thing about us, if you're not an expert in this, you can take the case and say, I know someone maybe who can do this for me. You can send it around the world to a specialist and ask him for the opinion. You can never do this analog, never ever.
Okay, then somebody asked a question. He was talking of major connector. Her name is Timothy Ojo. How do you determine connector type for a bridge?
Yes, for the bridge, we can have different kind of connectors. Let me just check for quick something.
And as you look
we have different types of connectors. We can also
can you take this second message, question along? It said if there is a shortage in occlusal margin, how do you repair it? So when you're looking for the connector, please explain that too.
So you mean if there's not enough vertical space?
When you are designing, so can you go back and repair it?
Just let me load this in. Just a minute, please. So let me share this quick. You can see this bridge?
Yes.
So you can see this is an anterior bridge, what we did.
The anterior bridge, yes.
So here, what we did, we extended here palatina. The temporary bridge, and we can put now here the connectors in the way we want to. Yeah. Let me load this in the zirconia way. Just a minute.
Okay, Phillips, you are trying to show us.
Okay. You understand what I wanted to say.
Yes, you have shown us the connector, how it can also be
Yeah, of course, if you have this regarding the connector, it's consider you have to consider what kind of material do you use.
Okay.
If you do a bridge in matter, you can make your connectors thinner, smaller. If you do it in zirconia, you have to make it bigger and stronger, also depending on the span you have. If it's a long span bridge, or if you bridge 2 units in the posterior area, you need around 12, 13 square millimeters for this connector. So it can be difficult to do this if you don't have enough clearance. But then you can show your client, here, look at this. We cannot do this in this way. It's too risky. It will break. So in this way, you can send him a screenshot and say, we have to do it maybe in metal. There's no other way. So you always have a proof on your hand how to argument with the client. Okay.
Okay. Bolaji Ismail asked a question. He said, how can we determine the part of insertion and withdrawal in partial denture? Let's say you are designing, I know it's the same principle, but you may want to know when we are now in the digital space.
Yeah. So what do you want to know exactly?
The part of insertion and withdrawal. How do you determine?
Come again?
Part of insertion and withdrawal of a partial denture. How do you determine that when you are designing in Exocad?
You mean the block out?
Yes, the block out. As in, how do you design the partial denture so that the patient can easily insert the denture in the mouth and also withdraw it without interference?
You need to block it out the same way you do it on a physical model. In Exocad, it goes very quick because you can adjust the insert axis. Yeah. So everything what is interfering regarding to your insert axis will be blocked out. You can also adjust the angle if you want 0 degrees, if you want 3 degrees of block out. This can be adjusted very easily. It's just a few seconds.
Okay. Oluwolafe asked a question. We'll be very snappy about this so that we can finish on time. He asks that, how do you finish polishing and all that? Because that seems to be absent in all the discussion.
Yeah, the polishing way is the same way like you do it like you do it now. So if you have a crown, you put your porcelain and you glaze like the same like you do it now. If you have your flexible denture, you polish it with pumice and or if you have a special agent, you take this and this is the same way.
Okay.
The polishing, or let's say the polishing is accordingly to the material you use. So I use, for example, AD Plus from Germany as a pink part, and this can be polished with the normal pumice what you use for acrylic, and also the high gloss, the same thing what I use for acrylic. If you use, for example, TCS resin, you have to use a different kind of polishing agent.
Good, good. Okay, somebody was, expressing an opinion here. He said, his name is Akobu Yakubu. He said, I think bridge connectors could be rigid or semi-rigid in terms of types. Do we have any consideration about rigidity or non-rigidity of connector when we are designing, like we have in an analog lab?
Yes, it's like I said before, the dimension of your connector for a bridge are depending on the material you use. So if you use a non-precious alloy, chrome cobalt alloy, you can make your connectors thinner, smaller. The average size is 6 square millimeters. But of course, if you have space, you can make them bigger. You can have different shapes of predefined design. It can be round, it can be triangle. Incisal edge is smaller, and you also can shape it individually. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You can adapt it, and if you use zirconia, you have to use different parameters. For example, in the anterior part, maybe 9 square millimeters, and in the posterior 12 to 30 millimeters. Depends what kind of solution you choose.
Okay, one last question. He said, can we do any adjustment after printing? I know the question is that once you have printed your appliance or mill, you can do only minimal adjustment. Am I right? And the second question you will take together is, how can we get printer? What is the cost? And even the scanner too.
The scanner, what I just showed you also in the presentation, the price is 5,000 US dollars. Yeah. We also have a used model in stock, what is a reduced price. We sell it for $3,000. It's 1.5 year old, not so much used, for example. And of course, you need Exocad for this. Exocad costs around $4,000, $4,500, depending on the exchange rate a bit. Yeah, we have also special offer on it. Where if you buy it now until the 15th of December, if you buy a scanner and Exocad together, you will get the module for the teeth, for the library for the teeth for free. Or if you buy a higher scanner, you get the abutment module for free. Yeah.
Can you give us information on how we get those things? How we can purchase them? Can you give us information?
You can purchase everything through me if you want. I am the reseller for Shining 3D, for example, in whole Africa, and I do also the support for these things. We also have 3D printers, 2 different types. We have a very new one, the AccuFab L4D, I think it's the name now. It's a DLP printer, a printer with a screen like Sonic or Frozen. The cost for this printer is $2,500. And the printer what I have is the AccuFab D1. It costs you around $6,000. It sounds a lot of money, but I have started also with a cheap printer, the Wanhao D7 Plus. It was only $500 or $600. The problem with this is you spend a lot of time and you waste a lot of material to get this thing to work. Nowadays, the Frozen or Sonic are much better because they have presets and so on. So if you want to print only model, you can go with that. But if you want quality of over a longer period of time, you have to invest some kind of money. So we're talking at least about $2,000 or $2,500 for a printer. Yeah, because you have to calculate your time. Do you want to play with a printer or do you want to work? Want to make money? Yeah. So good tools. You need good tools to work with. All these things, what you need, you can get through me if you want to. We have special offers now until the 15th of December. You just can contact me via WhatsApp or email or website, and you get more information.
Please share your details and stop your screen, stop sharing your screen so that we can see some of the details of your addresses on how to make contact with you in case we want to buy that. Philip Stans is a reseller of some of these card products and CAM products, and you can contact him. And I know he will be able to support you in training as well, as soon as you purchase any of this from him. And there's a question from Bolaji Ismail. He said, how can we avoid stretching the muscle, the facial muscle, when we do digital appliance? And the question is that if my answer to that, before you answer, is that if scanning is done very well, yes, oral scanning is done very well, there will be no need to worry about stretching of facial muscles. I think if I'm right.
You mean interference or distortion in the scan?
So he was talking about stretching of facial muscles when you are maybe taking intraoral impression or with your intraoral scanner or something. I think that is a question he wants to ask, whether stretching of masticatory muscles will not affect.
I mean, if your impression is not precise, if you have an overlay or something in your impression.
I think if impression is faulty, then there will be some concern about stretching of facial muscles. I think, and if it is not faulty, of course, we won't have such issue.
Let's face it. If you as a laboratory, you have to make a decision one time. You can take any case you get because you think about, I need the money. But if you see your impression is not good, or your scan, what you get from a clinic, is not correct, you have to approach your client and tell him, I cannot work on this, or if I do, there will be a problem after. I think you have to face the fact that you, of course, have a right to say also, no, this preparation is not good. I cannot work on this. Yeah, so if you get impression what is not correct and has overlays or any distortion in this, what you want to do. Of course, you can say something, or it's other, you can produce something on the denture, but you have to face the consequences that you may have to repeat this denture and your client will not be happy. So it's better to have a control of your work income. If you get a case, you set up a protocol. What do you need to have? Antagonist, preparation, what do you need to have? If you have no tooth color, you cannot make the work. Yeah, for example, if the preparation is not correct, you will have problems. And what is better to say before, dear doctor, this impression you see here and there, it's not so good. What do you want me to do? Do you want to repeat, or should we reduce something? And then you're out of there. Yeah.
Okay, Philip.
I have been there too and said, okay, I have to take any case I get. But what helps you if you do it double or triple? You don't make money.
Okay, sorry, we just have to stop, and please stop sharing your screen. You have not stopped. We're still seeing your screen.
I tried to. Is it now back?
It's good now. It's good.
Okay, good. Sorry. I'm not so familiar with some techniques here.
It's good. Okay, fine. Let's have one or two people ask questions. Ibrahim Victor just raised his hand. Maybe we'll have time to conduct that because our time will soon be up. Ibrahim Victor. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please go fast. Time is going. Otherwise, we will not have time.
Okay, sir. Please, sir, I was asking after